The runaway mare genre, adventure. In a small countryside town, Amelia owned a young mare named Hazel. Hazel was a free-spirited horse with a wild streak that sometimes made her hard to control. Amelia had raised her since she was a foal and loved her deeply, but Hazel's curious nature often led to trouble. One stormy night, Hazel's curiosity got the better of her. A loud crack of thunder sent her galloping through the pasture fence, breaking the boards and disappearing into the dark forest. Amelia discovered the broken fence the next morning. With tears in her eyes, she set off with her old compass, a saddlebag of food, and a lantern, determined to bring Hazel back. Amelia trekked through the thick forest, calling Hazel's name. The journey was perilous, muddy paths, slippery stones, and cold winds. By noon, Amelia reached a narrow ravine. On the other side, she spotted a hoofprint. She took a leap of faith and crossed the ravine. Eventually, she found Hazel tangled in some thorny bushes, tired and afraid. Amelia whispered to the frightened mare, calming her with soft words and gentle hands. After freeing Hazel, Amelia led her home through the forest. It was a long journey back, but the bond between the two had grown deeper. Hazel never tried to run away again, as if she understood the risks and the love that had brought her home. 2. Midnight in the Arena genre, drama. Liam had dreamed of winning the National Dressage Championship for years. Midnight, his jet-black stallion, was the perfect partner, graceful, powerful, and intelligent. But 1 week before the big event, something went wrong. Midnight developed a strange limp, throwing all of Liam's hopes into chaos. The vet's advice was to give Midnight complete rest, but the championship was so close. Liam wrestled with his ambition. Should he push Midnight to compete despite the risk? He spent sleepless nights in the stable, nursing the horse, massaging his leg, and talking to him as if he were an old friend. On the day of the championship, Liam made the toughest decision of his life. He pulled out of the competition. He knew forcing Midnight to perform could permanently harm his friend. Heartbroken but resolute, he watched the competition from the sidelines. Months passed, and Midnight fully recovered. Though they missed that year's event, Liam was at peace. His relationship with Midnight became stronger than any trophy. When the next season came, they competed again, not for the win, but for the joy of riding together. And to Liam's surprise, they took first place, proving that love and patience pay off in the end. 3. The wild herd genre, fantasy. In the remote hills of a forgotten land, young Alina lived with her grandmother, who told her stories of a mystical herd of wild horses. According to legend, these horses roamed the hills, born of the wind and stars, and could only be seen by those with a pure heart. Few believed in the tales, but Alina dreamed of seeing them one day. One evening, while collecting herbs by the river, Alina noticed a strange shimmer in the air. A soft breeze brushed her face, and she followed it up the hill, where the moonlight danced on the grass. There, standing in the clearing, was a majestic white horse with a mane that sparkled like silver threads. It was the leader of the mythical herd. The horse approached Alina, bowing its head gently. Suddenly, the entire herd emerged from the shadows, stallions and mares of every color, their eyes glowing softly in the moonlight. For one magical night, Alina rode with the herd, feeling the wind in her hair as they galloped across the hills, leaving trails of stardust behind them. When dawn broke, the herd vanished like a dream. Though no one believed her story, Alina knew it had been real. She returned home with the memory of a night spent among stars and wind, and a single white feather from the mane of the magical horse, a reminder of the wild magic that still lingered in the world. 4. The last race genre, sports drama. Ben Miller was a jockey who had spent his life chasing victory. His horse, Thunderbolt, had won several races, but both were growing older, and the younger competition was catching up. The Grand Derby was coming up, and everyone knew it might be their last race together. Thunderbolt wasn't the fastest horse on the track anymore, but Ben believed in him. They trained hard, knowing it was their final shot at glory. But as the race approached, doubts crept into Ben's mind. Could Thunderbolt keep up with the younger, fresher horses? Should he even ask him to? On race day, the stadium was packed with fans. The air buzzed with excitement. As the race began, Thunderbolt was slow out of the gate. For the first half, it seemed like their fears were coming true. They were falling behind. But then something incredible happened. As the finish line came into view, Thunderbolt found a second wind. His ears perked up, and his stride lengthened.